Right. Oh, migration is so huge now for 2v2. I'm gonna talk in English even though these are Norwegian players because I've been casting in English for 4 years now. It feels weird not to do that. So our point of focus is going to be Super Skurken and Giga Gurken. They are players from the Norwegian AOE2 community, but they also happen to be married, and their kid even plays AOE2 and is also in the Norway Discord, so I expect to see a 3v3 as well someday for these guys. The map is Migration, it's a ranked game, and the distance is ridiculous between the players. And the middle island is massive. What even is this? This isn't even a water map anymore, just get to the middle island. And these starting islands... they're gigantic. What is this? I think it was a custom lobby or something, but... Anyway, migration, water matters on this map. There's so much fish to be taken, so if you control the water, free food for you. Also, if you win and control the water, it's going to be difficult for your opponents to get to the middle, to access the stones, golds, wood in the middle. But this game tends to play out both for water control first, and then as the game progresses, the middle becomes more important for continued resource access. But man, that's a long distance between the players. I think it's shorter between blue and green here, so that could be to their advantage. So what you need to do on this map is you definitely need a dock, because you need the food from the fish to be able to click up to fuel age at all. At least that's going to speed up your progress quite a bit. This number here, by the way, that's their ranked team game rating. So they are around 800 Elo in team games. So they're pushing in the deer with the scout. It's to get them closer and to not have to walk all the way out to collect the food. Pretty uncomplicated procedure, and on a map like this where you won't be rushed, attacked early anyway, just might as well use your scout for that purpose instead. Dock in the back for Giga Gurken, got some deep fish here to take, but also means that it's going to take longer for their opponents to find this dock. With any luck, she's even going to not be spotted immediately, and they might think she hasn't even docked and maybe underestimate the water armies a little bit. Late dock for the Persians there. Persians should easily be able to afford fishing ships though, but are they fishing? Are they making any fishing? Transport ship immediately for Super Skurken. Here we go! Here we go! So playing as the Berbers villagers and ships move faster, but in the feudal age, no, Dark Age is only 5% faster, becomes 10% in the feudal age. But it's still faster, you still outrun the opponent's villagers, right? And Vikings for Giga Gurken, like the Norwegians they are, I guess. It's also a good map for, or good civilization for migration, so Vikings, long boats, galleys, cheaper docks as a team bonus. Lots of advantages with Vikings on this map. But what is this transport about? What is this? This is the resources needed to click up to the feudal age. So Super Skurken isn't even ready to go feudal age yet. Long distance collecting the berries, maybe struggling a little bit for wood here. But that doesn't stop Super Skurken from moving out, and now added the first fishing ship as well, which will boost that food income to eventually be able to click to the feudal age and have even faster moving villagers. And if he researches wheelbarrow as well. The villagers will have further increased movement speed. He's going for a landing. Giga Gurken is just auto-scouting the home place, I guess. Not a lot of fish at work here, so not that much to fight for on water yet anyway. And this is certainly going to catch Blue off guard. He's looking for a place to land. Obviously not going to need to land in the middle just yet. He's just going to go straight for Blue's home base here. Blue playing as the Kemper, by the way, and can hide in houses if need be. So we'll see how this works out. How many villagers? 5 villagers, a full transport ship of villagers. Now, Blue, what do you have to say to this? 5 villagers landing on your home island. This would look like a Persian douche attempt if you see villagers landing like that. And Blue's going to be like, what? What the heck is going on here? Maybe he didn't even notice. Not even sending the scout over for Super Skurken, which is kind of weird. The scout has better line of sight. So you'd more easily be able to scout the resources like this. Walling in the gold won't really be an option, because the town center is right here and could hit the villagers. Scout comes here though, but 5 villagers should easily be able to win against that scout. Loom is, of course, Loom is probably in for most of them. But obviously Blue here, being at home base, has so much more villagers in total to fight against it. So Blue should just use his own villagers to take the fights if need be. But they move faster, these Berber's villagers, so they have that going for them. What would almost be even better would be to have the poles here, because then you'd, when you escape like this, your villagers would slowly regenerate the hit points. So you'd be back to full health and have an advantage in the villagers fighting because of that. 4 fishing ships for Blue. They're all fishing pretty comfortably here. Blue being the one with the most fish. But now, at risk of losing the dock if these villagers have their say in this. Hello, Deno. Yeah, this is the team game Elo of these players. Super Skurken and Giga Gurken, they are in the Norwegian AOE 2 Discord. And they happen to be married. And they both play AOE 2. And even their kid does that. Blue scrambles for repairs. Rush hasn't accomplished that much this far, but the worker efficiency is lower for Blue, so there's that. Actually going for some farming here to boost the food income, because the fish had to move away. Something you... Yeah, you've had your share of meta games, Deno. Deno is more like a 1600 team game player, though. So he's twice this Elo. Okay, now trying to wall in the villagers, walling in the lumber cap, not quite succeeding here. And these villagers are going to have a hard time escaping. Why only 5 villagers though? Why no scout? Why not just send the transport back and get more villagers over here if you really want to commit to this? You're 1700. Nice. I'm not keeping up Deno. Deno is clearly a pro. Otherwise, just peaceful progress here. Green has found his way into the mainland. Got enough resources to go to the Castle Age. I don't know why I said 4 villagers over already. It's not like you'll be deleting your starting TC and rebuilding it over here. There's no need for that. Just waiting for Castle Age to be able to produce TCs. So maybe a little bit too early to the middle island, but it's always nice to be in control in the middle there. Red also moving over to scout a little bit, send some villagers over, but this is where the action is at, and somehow Super Skurken, Super Villain, if you will, and Giant Cucumber. You'd think it would be the other way around, since Super Skurken, Super Villain is the man and Giant Cucumber is the woman, but who am I to judge? Tutelage is in. So now, what was a villager rush is transitioning into a tower rush from the Berbers. That's going to take away a lot of the farming income of the blue player here. H-bar 86, and walling around it as well. There is another gold here that needs to be in a tower as well, but another tower over here should stop that from happening. What's green up to? Just went for a casual lumber camp in the middle while waiting for the castle age to kick in. Red is here, scouting as well. No, didn't find green just yet. Militia getting some value here. That's one villager down for blue. Blue has also managed to kill one of the forward villagers of yellow, and to react to this villager rush, blue has gone for a stable and scouts on the home island, something you don't see very often on these small starting islands on migration. Tower is up, it's also walled in so that villagers can't batter it down, and another tower goes up, which I think it would be better off over here to completely deny the gold, but since nobody is fighting for water yet, then blue can just make a transport and transport villagers over and access gold on the main island, no problem. So this rush still isn't doing too much. Spearmen now added to deal with the scouts out on the field. Scouts doing good against the militia here as well. But as far as food goes, blue is going to struggle a little bit still, especially when this tower goes up. Doesn't have enough food to go to the castle age just yet. So there's that. In the middle, Giga Gurken has gone for a mining camp and some military units as well. Going to start to get some idea of what's going on in the middle. Villagers still alive here. Spearman taking out the scouts as well. But blue very close to clicking to the castle age here. To be fair, Super Skurken is also close to clicking up. Still no one fighting for water here. Green is kind of starting to think about it, but hasn't hit anyone yet. And now placing the first TC on land, which Giga Gurken will spot with this militia. Some scouting, if anything. Also getting extra hit points for the militia because of the Vikings civilization bonus. Now going for men-at-arms and supplies, to which will make further militia line units cheaper to make. So these towers, if they keep firing at the town center, they will actually eventually take down this town center. Blacksmith now being constructed by blue, so from this stable I expect to see knights once we enter the castle. For now it's just the scouts. And definitely keeping blue at home base here. Blue still hasn't tried to go to the middle, which maybe should have done already, just to secure some wood and gold income and not need to worry about the aggression at the home island as much. This tower also within range of this one, so it's not going to be that easy for blue to stop this, especially not with scouts. But with the castle age, blue has wood and gold enough for a siege workshop, so could easily just drop a siege workshop over here and add some rams or mangonels to deal with these towers. Giga Gurken now in the castle age, adding some more men-at-arms here. Vikings infantry is strong, berserkers possibly even stronger, but you need to have resources in the bank behind you to be able to keep making them consistently as well. Looks like Giga Gurken is housed for the moment, so that also limits the units production a little bit. Men-at-arms against a Persian's town center, that's going to take a while though, because the Persians have twice the hit points on the town center, and they're also reacting here with an archery range to deal with these infantry units. Men-at-arms versus knights, who would have thought? And the only upgrades the player has is, for whatever reason, Bodkin Arrow, which, except for maybe boosting the damage from the town center a little bit for the attack damage, it doesn't do anything here. Would need the cavalry upgrades instead for the knights. Siege workshop is here though, so mangonels hopefully going to be added to deal with these towers. And now a new town center for the red player as well. Now upgraded the militia to longswords, and supplies is in, so it's cheaper. Longboats in the making as well. They have a whopping 7 range until you get fletching for... No, 6 range, sorry, 6 range. And I'm going to get another one with fletching, and then plus another one with bodkin arrow. Now blue finally made the transport moving around into the fishing ships. Nice pathing there. But yeah, probably going to send some builders over to the middle to claim the middle as the game goes. Let's see how the longboats are doing. Armor coming in. That doesn't affect the longboats, unfortunately. That only applies to archers or archery range units. If you want armor on your longboats, you need to go to the dock and research Farining, which will give pierce armor to your boats. So you'd be benefiting more from getting bodkin arrow here, and eventually get a university app and research ballistics as well for more accuracy on the longboats as well. But we have the longboats in production, 4 of them now. As Super Skurken still with 2 villagers on land. Keeps trying to get towers up, but that's getting increasingly difficult now that the Kemper player has scorpions out. And imagine if this tower had been here instead. Then blue would struggle a lot more for gold and would not be able to afford so many knights and scorpions. This is the case currently. Villagers still alive, at least one of them. Super Skurken has lost 4 villagers, so 4 of those are forward. But look at the Eco KD here. He's somehow managed to kill 21 villagers here with the towers, with his own villagers, with the men-at-arms. This villager rush landing strategy is kind of working, and the longboats here might do some damage soon as well. Once Giga Gurken gets closer to the Persian side, could kill some fishing ships here, maybe even range some villagers on land. And speaking of land, there's a castle going down in the middle here as well, which probably will be making berserkers at this point, looking at the upgrades coming in. Here comes forging for Super Skurken as well. He's going to give +1 attack to the men-at-arms and the spearmen here. Usually scorpions don't outrange towers, but since the Kemper scorpions have 7+1 range, they match the range of the towers. Still 1 villager on land for Super Skurken. Also got a stable up here, and is on the way to the castle age. Has food and gold in the bank, so could make knights on this starting island on blue here as well. Longboats still haven't engaged. Green has landed Super Skurken. So green is in the middle, has made some knights in the middle, and it's quick walls from Super Skurken there. Immediately reacting here with 3 barracks to keep the knights from range and easy, and quick walling like a hero over here to try and salvage as many villager lives as possible and to scramble out some spearmen. Another house! Ay, what a power play. This guy must have been watching the Viper or something. Or maybe it's Hera these days. Has to garrison the town center now though, and will be losing some to the raiding party of Tischfreund 8345. What does that mean then though? Like something friend 8345. Tish, I've seen the word before, but can't quite translate it. Still some presence on land here, and the tower completes yet again. Now, being in the castle age, Super Skurken adds a siege workshop, will want to add mangalos of his own to deal with the Khmer scorpions and maybe take out the blue knights over here. Yeah, still a Viper. Yeah, Hera has won basically everything this year though, and that was a $3,000 or less for the winner, so not going to accuse Hera of not taking things seriously, but I don't think he felt that mattered as much as NAC and Hidden Cup and other things, so don't expect to see Viper winning a S-tier tourney for a while when Heria dominates as much as he's doing. Mangonels on land as well. Good hit. Berserkers are out for Giga Gurken. Longboat still not doing anything. But now going to start slowly to take down the 1003. What are these? Persians, cavalry archers. Sure, why not? Why not? Give some mobility. Faster moving archer than your standard ones. Mangonel, if it gets a hit in though, that should be value. Some knights joining in as well. Vikings knights. Some of the weakest knights in the game, but they're still knights. So the towers are providing some cover fire for this ram over here. So doing surprisingly okay here. Lots and lots of fire galleys from Super Skurken out of nowhere as well. Kind of overcommitting here unless he wants to move on further to hit the green player as well. Blue moving the fish away, but soon enough they won't even have a dock to drop off their fish in. So blue is really taking a beating here from the purple player. But to be fair, the Knights Raids of Green also did some serious damage to Super Skurken at home base. Now only has 15% of the economy working and seems to be completely focused on Blue's island over here. Looks like Blue hasn't landed yet. Nobody does have the transport somewhere. Or did you kill the transport as well? No, it's here. It's here. So at least it still has the transport ship. Well, if it keeps up like this, Blue is going to die. It's going to be trapped on his home island in the midst of all of Super Skurken's fire galleys over here. And his only chance is if Green spends some of these resources, makes some naval units as well, and provides a transport ship for Blue to go over to the mainland. Has lost 42 villagers this game. Ridiculous. Second castle for Giga Gurken as well. It's a couple of siege workshops. Taking some responsibility for the land here as Green is researching Imperial Age and wants to get trebuchets out to deal with this castle. But speaking of Imperial Age, Giga Gurken is going to be slightly earlier to the Imperial Age, and with the second castle at some point completing, that's going to be 2 castles against 1 to take out the Green player. So Super Skurken now with the faster moving Berbers ships going to move towards the Persians player, perhaps find some fish over here as well. Blue still has a transport ship though, because Super Skurken did not focus down that one. And looks like Blue is going to be able to land after all. Blue, only 18 villagers left though, and probably no resources in the bag. Some resources in the bag still could make knights. Really just coming in. Are we going to see some trebuchets here now? And that cavalry archer, that's going to die to the castle. It can't quite just now see just yet. It's out because there were knights here not too long ago after all. Is that town center going to die to the tower here eventually? Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Cavalry archer going down. Persians player now losing the fish as well, and the score is looking promising for team Super Skurken and Giga Gurken here. Blue might actually get defeated here if this keeps up. 50 economic units lost. Barely any resources left in the bank. No market for Blue to trade units. Some villagers over here. So there's still hope. Actually able to afford 8,000 road land. But now there are some land units over here as well. Super Skurken. Is that going to be a castle drop now? Going for a castle drop quite close to the Persian's castle here. That could be risky. Sending the villagers in like that because they'll be moving quite close to the castle. Another ram being added as well. And Blue's town center about to be going into history here. Too bad that transport ship didn't get sniped. Waiting to repairs, doesn't want to lose that starting TC unless he absolutely has to. No more camels being added by purple here either. I guess that castle completes because it's outside of range of the green castle, but also trebuchets in the making and hoarding being researched, which will give the castles more hit points. Look at the ram train though! Green is completely obliterated from the middle island with this push like this. Doesn't really have any military on land to deal with this. Is queuing some bombard cannons, but they are expensive and slow, and the berserkers, once this castle is down, the berserkers could just dive in and take them out. What are we looking at here? Nothing to repair. The castle abilities are still here. But the castle goes down now, only the trebuchets. I guess the cap ram here could deal with that. On this side, the town center is still up, but blue is still only at 18 builders and barely producing any more. Got lots of them in the queue, to be fair. So, still has a chance to get back onto it here. Looks like the castle will survive. It's now being repaired, and the bomber cannon is going down to Super Skurken scouts over here. Green soon left with no presence on the map at all in the middle here. And now all Giga Gurken and Super Skurken need to do is to find, scout this middle island again and see if there's any expansion going on here, like this castle from green, which will probably die again to the trebuchet and these cap rams. 10 cap rams total. Not joking around here. So it's almost 3 times the military for Team Giga Gurken here. They're twice the economy as well, so they're in a good spot to continue this game as the bomber cannon gets to take out a cap ram before being taken out there. Now what? Now we need to scout the map here, not allow blue and green to get back onto it here. So more knights being added, so green still has resources in the bank, is going a bit low on food, probably relied on fish here for a while. The fire ships, most of them went down. Green has been able to redock, and the Persian stocks, they have to twice the hit points as well, so they are taking quite a while to take out. It looks like Super Skurken is happy with the damage done on Blue's home island now, not really going to do too much here. Maybe send these war galleys over to take out some more villagers on these woodlands, and maybe the transport ship as well. In the middle, another castle is going up. Green is trying hard to get back into the game here, even researched Cavalier and has lots of war cavaliers in the queue here, while Giga Gurken's team, they don't really have that many land units. We had the Vikings Cavaliers, but in terms of upgrades, they are lacking bloodlines and husbandry, and seem to have worse blacksmith upgrades overall as well. Oh. Okay, war galleys taking out scorpions here with some help from the ram. Could take out these builders as well. That's 9 builders. Yep, getting some builders now as well. Now some docks from the Vikings player as well. No, Burris is a Super Skurken. It's not the Vikings, but the longboats are here as well. So they're going to make quick work of dock over here to stop the Persians from easily getting the rest of the economy back to the mid island. Another castle going up though, the third castle in the middle for the green player, massing up on cavaliers before getting the attacks in as well. This could be dangerous looking at the numbers here, but blue, close to getting defeated here, is sort of establishing on the mainland though, but due to the lack of vision on the middle island for Giga Gurken's team, they are not yet seeing the massive amounts of castles and presence the green player has in the middle, which could have been easily avoided with some scouting and sending the trebuchets and rams in this direction to deal with the first castle, take out the villagers, and then suddenly you can't build all of these things. Town center finally down. Blue's home base just absolutely demolished here. Looks like even the transport ship of blue has been dealt with. They have managed to find one of Blue's new TCs in the middle, so somehow Blue made it to the middle. But with this amount of Persian's Cavalier on the field, we're going to need something more to deal with these. It's just that just cleaning up space for pathfinding and for this castle here. Why were the trebuchets firing here? It's going to be Vikings Cavaliers against Persians Cavaliers here. Blue is essentially out of the game. Blue only has 14 villagers, barely any resources in the bank. Green is running low as well, but at least Green has a lot of military here. But the military total is still higher for Giga Gurken's team. That castle is not going to build as long as it's occupied by these units. I don't even know how Blue is able to afford another town center here. Maybe collected enough wooden stuff around the other town center there. But also losing houses at the former home base. No houses on the mainland for Blue. So as Blue keeps adding villagers, it's going to be massively housed because of the houses going down at the starting island. Just massing up units for the death blow here now. It's quite a lot of offensive units. Even the Vikings Cavalier will be helpful here, but adding the camels from Super Skurken, even though they are Castle Age camels, could be fine if you have enough of them, if you have the economy to mass enough of them to take this fight. Yeah, joined by the Vikings Cavalier. The hit points are dead even, but the Persians player has almost full Imperial Age upgrades and is going to get some good numbers here. The issue being that there's barely resources in the bank here to replenish these numbers of cavalry for the green player, and Blue isn't going to contribute anytime soon. Good scouting by Super Skurken over here, finding these two town centers, but also taking a bad fight underneath the castle fire over here, so it's that easy to fight against enemy cavalry units underneath two castles firing at you. If Giga Gurken had 1000 food, she could also research Siege Ram for even more damage output from the rams. But yeah, once again now, massing some more military units, adding pike men for the Vikings against the Persians cavalry. Persian player adding some camels now as well, reacting to the camels of the Berbers. But those are Castle Age camels against Imperial Age Cavaliers, so it doesn't really matter that much. Blue, massively housed now. Scrambling up. No, only one builder building that one, so that's going to delay that building time even a lot more. Here come the longboats. Let's start to take out one of Blue's town center and camel archers as well, helping out here. Not going to allow Blue back into the game. Some camels running in here as well. The Vikings might have the unique technology upgrade as well. At least they are elite, so they will do more damage, have higher attack stats. They're trading quite well against the remaining Persians Cavalier now. Barely any military left for the green player as well. And the economy probably running low here. Still got food, but barely got gold here. And will not be able to send the remaining economy to the main island because that's being obstructed by the Berbers ships over here. Imperial Age for Super Skurken. Probably the death blow in the hand here as green and blue tap out, and hopefully called a GG. It doesn't show, but a good game it was. Yeah, Chieftains researched quite early here to benefit the Berserkers, and most of the blacksmith upgrades in as well, so it's a pretty tanky, strong infantry units, these Berserks. But Blue didn't expect that landing. somewhat unconventional play for migration. Lots of units killed there for Super Skurken. In the end, managed to take out 85 eco units. Blue lost most of those. Green managed to take some out as well when landing on Super Skurken side, but in the end, the Norwegian couple did the best 2 vs 2 game here to call the win.